I'm with the voice of Southampton Football Club on BBC Radio Solent. This man, Adam Blackmore, is an absolute legend. I love your podcast, first and foremost.
Thank you, Martin.
Going home with Adam and Joe is amazing.
Yeah.
I've started to listen to it, but I've not finished it yet from last night. We have to start with last night. What an incredible evening.
It was one of the best nights St Mary's has seen, I think, ever since its inception. So it's right up there with Inter Milan. It was certainly better than the England International. So I think it was, for fans, I think that was probably the most inclusive, wholesome, brilliant togetherness I've ever seen at the stadium.
Yeah, let's talk about the performance. It was a big performance by the players. Flynn Downs come out, they said they were calling on the fans. I heard your interview with Taylor Harwood-Bellis in the week. He said the fans will bring it, we will bring it. Boy, they brought it second half, didn't they?
Oh, yeah, second half they brought the goals. First half they set the win up, and actually Flynn Downs set the tone about 10 seconds in with a strong challenge he got penalised for. But it just set Saints on the front foot, and I think he was magnificent. I thought Smallbone was magnificent apart from the goal. And that midfield three's working really well, Aribo, Smallbone, Downs. So look, everything went well. The performance was rock solid. It's a shame about the clean sheet, but they were well worth the win. And I think once they got the first, West Brom never really believed, I don't think, they were going to turn the game round.
Yeah.
And when Adam scores the second, that was fantastic, wasn't it?
Some nice touches with the advertising hoarders as well, stop the long throw, and quite clever. Russell said it wasn't his idea, but no, superb, whoever thought it.
Well, yeah, it wasn't his idea, it was someone else's at the clubs, but it was a great idea, and they had to be 2 metres from the touchline, and they were, so it was within the rules.
Yeah, it was a brilliant night. So looking forward to Wembley. What's your thoughts on Leeds? We've beaten them twice already, played well against them both times, but a really, really tough game. To beat them 3 times in the season would be some going.
Yeah, to me, possession's going to be huge, because it's a big surface, it's a sapping pitch to play on. And when you keep the ball like Saints, that will help manage their stamina through the game. Your biggest worry with Leeds, of course, is it is a big pitch, and that will give Nonto and Somerville plenty of space to play and run. And that's what somehow we've got to stop. I thought Saints were brilliant at snuffing out Johnston and Fellows last night as threats.
Yeah.
But they're going to have to come up with a similar plan, because Leeds can score freely, and they have a terrific set of forwards, and I think that's the biggest worry for me. Doesn't mean I don't think Saints can win the game, or I don't think Saints can dominate them and go in the other way, but although we've beaten them twice, that'll count for nothing. We've just got to deliver on the day and get the game plan right.
Yeah, I want to talk about your career a little bit now, and talk about your time on the South Coast. How much have you enjoyed it down here?
Well, to be honest, I was just thinking, when we get to next Sunday night, that'll complete 20 years for me.
Wow, that's incredible.
I know, and to be sports editor at Radio Solent for that long, I never had a job for longer than 4 years before I arrived. So it's been an absolute privilege, and people have been so nice in the area and taken to me enough to make it a really rewarding job. And so if you add that to the amazing feedback Saints fans give me and the humility and that brings.
Adam, you're an icon down here on the South Coast.
Yeah, but
you're an absolute icon.
But that's not for me to think or say. That's for me to just keep working hard.
Your voice on so many massive moments in Southampton's last 20 years that you've been commentating on us. The amount of times I listen back, you give me goosebumps. Like listening to Ricky Lambert's here today, and some of the goals he scored, the Chelsea one at home, the free kick.
Ricky's
it always
great.
Pops up on the Saints website.
Yeah, I know.
You've done.
Well, it's lovely because you've got that sort of legacy that's sort of intentional. You're not trying to create one, you're just working. And so, it's lovely. And I just feel that, having spent all my life mostly in the Midlands, then suddenly I feel like this is my home. And I felt it a few years ago, but now it feels like I never want to be anywhere else. So I'll keep going as long as the BBC will let me, and as long as I stay healthy. And I don't have any desire to do anything else, really. I love it.
It's a pleasure to be here talking to you. I want to just look back at a couple of your favourite moments. Have you got a couple of standout moments for you as a commentator on Southampton? Tell me, give me your thoughts.
Yeah, the moments are the ones the fans talk to me about, because they're the ones that then you got right, or you got the impact right. So definitely we'll go with Gabbiadini's goal in Swansea. Yeah. We'll go with Shane Long's goal at Anfield, of course. And from a personal perspective, commentating on the fastest hat-trick in Premier League history with Sadio Mane, even though it was against Aston Villa, is a great moment for me. So I look back at those, Inter Milan at home, the ones you'd expect really. But I think there are some goals I listen back, and I don't like listening to myself, but there are some goals where I think, I got that right. And it's not always the big games, it's just those self-satisfaction moments where you think, I called that nicely. and it's hard to think of them. Some of them I wince at, some of them I enjoy.
Yeah.
But yeah, the ones where the fans come up to me and go, "Oh, I jumped off the sofa when that went in," and things like that.
Yeah.
That's the kick of the job.
Absolutely. I love the little montages that they often pop out and they relive the goals. We're obviously at the games, I'm at every game, but just to go back and listen to it, I just want to listen to it.
Yeah, it's good, and we've got that at Solent. It's great. We've got 20 odd years of archive of all 3 of our league clubs, every game and every competition, and it's lovely when we play certain teams. We can just drag that out and remind ourselves, because I love that as well. And it's all part of it, isn't it? You know, we all build up our own history with our football clubs, and those moments you're talking about make us bonded to our club, because it's those shared moments, like last night. I mean, everyone that was there last night will never forget that.
Never forget that moment.
It's part of your life forever. It's great.
Yeah, well, it was an incredible moment last night. If you look at you've commentated on a lot of players that play for Southampton. If there's one player in particular you could pull out, other than Matt Letizia, because he's probably there. Who's your standout player for the football club in the 20 years?
Well, in the 20 years, because Matt had just finished when I started, but in the 20 years, I would actually have to say probably Ricky, Adam and Jay, that front 3.
Yeah, unbelievable.
That was a fantastic front 3. And then, of course, I think as well, Pella, Mane, Tadic, that was also a lot of fun. So the Koeman era, but the players, you know, everyone goes on about how good Van Dijk is, and I get that, but it doesn't mean I get excited watching him.
Yeah.
You know, the players that excited me, Ricky dropping off the front, picking the ball up deep, turning, playing, his goals, pulling away at the back post, those headers, that sort of stuff. I think for me, Ricky, Adam, and probably after that, Prowse's free kicks.
Yeah.
You know, what moments they are. There's so many of them, but they were just all fabulous. So those things stand out for me.
Particular manager that you've enjoyed working with? You're at every press conference, you do all the post-match every week for Solent. Stand-up manager, anyone you really enjoy working with?
Well, I'm going to say I enjoy working with Russell. Obviously, he hasn't been there that long. Ralph was very respectful of me, and we got on well professionally. Never talked to him a lot outside of interviews. But really, Maurizio and Nigel, because they were really kind to me. Even after they finished managing their club, they were still kind to me in various ways. Nigel was amazing. I'll never forget him hugging me after my daughter died when I came back in the dressing room, and I thought, what a bloke, just a real good guy. And Maurizio always welcomed me to Spurs after he left and took me in the manager's room.
Oh, wow.
And you always think, well, I must have done something right.
Yeah.
So he was always genuine. I think it's that authenticity.
Yeah.
You know, Koeman was a cold fish, brilliant manager, but he was there, Barcelona, I'm Ronald Koeman, talk to you and go.
Yeah.
Maurizio, Nigel, excellent. Ralph, good to work with. Never took it personally when you asked him a question. Russell does a little bit, but
he's prickly sometimes, isn't he?
Yeah, but he's great.
Especially after a 3-day game week, he gets particularly tired, doesn't he?
Yeah, but do you know what? It's good. It keeps me on my toes. You shouldn't presume anything, and so I think you have to work at those relationships, and you learn what they're like and what makes them tick and what sets them off. So you try and work around it, because I want them to answer questions for you lot. It's not about me. It's about, will they give you things to learn or to find out about? And if I ask questions that make them switch off, then none of us gain anything. What's the point? So it is a relationship building exercise, and on that front, I'd have to go Nigel, you know, Ralph, Maurizio, and Russell, like that. Those would be the 4.
I love it. Adam, it's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you. Thank you so very much for your time.
Pleasure, mate. Nice to see you.
Thank you.